Okay, this message is for Johnny and Johnny only. If you're not Johnny, you can fast forward. Johnny, I want to tell you about 3 new pieces of cutting edge technology. Technology so cutting edge, you're going to lose your freaking mind. Starting with Apple's new Vision Pro. Now, does it cost more than a 2010 Honda? Yes, but it's the best damn VR headset out. Next, we got Sora, and this is really incredible stuff. This is using only artificial intelligence to make entire movies. Who even knows what's real anymore? Sora actually made Matthew from Your Season. A lot of people don't know that. But this third and final piece of innovation is really going to blow your mind. It's so cutting edge, I'm actually not surprised you haven't heard of it. This is a condom. All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down episodes 7, 8, and 9 of the new season of Love is Blind. And that's all I've seen. But I'm gonna be breaking them down like you've seen them too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular taste takers, it seems that we found our next villain. Boom, episode 7. This one's called Silence Speaks Volumes. We start off where we left off in episode 6 with Chelsea and Jimmy after their little kerfuffle. And episode 6 was called Feeling Uncomfy. And I always like to figure out why they call the episodes what they call the episodes. And I couldn't figure out why they called it that. But based on this rewind, you can hear that Chelsea tells Jimmy that he made her feel uncomfy. I didn't know that was a thing that people say. Do people really say, you made me feel uncomfy? Y'all ever said that? Anyway, they've made up. Now we're over to Brittany and Sweet Baby K's. This is where Brittany's asking him like, hey, when you were talking to AD, I heard her asking if I'm okay with raising black babies. Was that coming from a good place? He assures her that it was. He sounds nuts in this whole interaction. This is where he's like, my people just love me hard. You're just gonna have to understand that. This is also where we realize that Brittany has dated black people in the past. Okay. Also, this is by far the youngest couple at 24 and 25, but they for sure look the oldest. Now, is that important? No. Is that nice? Also no. Now here's where we get that quick montage of what excursion all the couples are going on. Amy and Johnny went horseback riding, Chelsea and Jimmy in those dune buggies, Brittany and Kenneth went on the boat, and AD and Clay are just driving around. But this is where we learn that on period, he likes giving red light kisses. Also, is it just me, or does he have a little extra sass in that glass? Anyway, at this point, I literally wrote in my notes, wow, what a difference from last season. Literally, no one is beefing. Well, number one, I forgot about Laura and Jeremy. And number two, I was just wrong, period. Okay. We'll get there. Don't get too excited. First, we got to talk about Laura and Bean Dip Gate. As much as I hate to admit it, we got to eat our veggies before we can get to our dessert. Laura tells Jeremy he iced her out and she doesn't have any idea why that happened. She's like, we got to talk about this. Jeremy's like, yeah, we can definitely talk about this, I think. Well, let me say one thing. Last night was triggering for me. This dude, Jeremy, apologizes, and she does not. She's like, you iced me out. It was messed up. Jeremy says, I know. I was totally wrong, and it was all me. And maybe I just read the room wrong last week, but I could have sworn this could have been a situation where both of them apologized to each other, because none of that would have happened if Laura didn't tell him to bean dip AD. But, okay, if he wants to take the fall for it, more power to you. I guess it's happy wife, happy life. They make up and all seems to be well, for now. Okay, I gotta make a concerted effort to talk about Amy and Johnny. Like I said, they were going horseback riding, they pull over and start eating some fruit. Things are still going well. There's almost nothing to really talk about. I guess one thing we could address is the fact that Johnny is like, you know, we haven't fought yet. I think we need to have our first fight just to see what it is. Which I didn't know that that was a thing where like you're dating someone and you haven't been in the fight yet and you just need to see how they fight. Do y'all be feeling that way? Have y'all ever like started dating someone and y'all ain't fight for a long time and you think it's weird? Is it weird to not fight? Or is it weird to just fight? You can let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. Now, you may have noticed I did a little sigh before I started talking about Amy and Johnny. If I had enough oxygen, I would do an even deeper sigh before we get into this next scene with Brittany and I Am Knuff. Now, there is a lot to unpack here. It's not a lot of words to unpack, but there's a lot to unpack. This is when they're on that boat ride. First things first, I need you guys to look at this. Netflix, just relax. You know this is important. Brittany's like, oh man, babe, I'm so glad you get to experience the ocean. Her fiance completely ignores her. But look how he acts when that boat passes by. It's like he wants those black people to save him. Just look how he looks.
I'm so glad you're getting to experience the ocean.
And bro, listen, black people are superheroes, but ain't no black people in the history of black people coming to save you by boat. Netflix really ain't shit for this entire scene. There's no reason I should be made to feel this level of cringe that I felt. Like, I'm a paying customer. I'm paying for the premium package. I don't deserve to be treated in this way. Did y'all feel that same level of cringe watching this? Secondhand embarrassment never felt more real. And just when I was about to go full Roger Rabbit from an extreme cringe overload, an unlikely hero comes to save the day. A freaking dolphin. This clown was acting like how Adam Sandler was acting in The Waterboy when he got to talk about glacier water. Now imagine being with your fiance of only 48 hours and the only thing this dude wants to talk to you about is dolphins. I ain't never seen nothing like this in all my days. Ain't you a worship leader? You're not supposed to know how to connect with people, how to create a bond, and get to know them? What do I know? I know what I know. What I know is that as soon as those dolphins was gone, so was Kentucky Fried Sweet Chicken. She finally gets some words out of him when they start talking about physical touch. He thinks he's overly affectionate. She thinks he's not affectionate at all. This dude's just staring in the sky looking for clues. Girl, bring one of those dolphins back out here and see how affectionate he gets with that blowhole. Did I really write that? I really wrote that. Okay. Over to Clay and AD. This is when Clay realizes that Martha's Vineyard, the island, is close to water. And speaking of water, there's gotta be something in it, because what are these scenes? This dude Clay also gets quiet on AD. And again, I gotta sit through more awkward silences. What's the title of this episode? Ugh. Then you see this child taking that bowl to the head. Yes, AD, that's your man. Let's see if you stick beside him. Oh, now he a waiter stacking plates. It's kind of like that Chappelle show, making the band skit. Oh, you just gonna stack plates right now, Clay? That's what's hot in the streets? Yeah, I don't know nothing about no Chappelle show making the band skit. This poor girl AD's eyeballs are literally about to fall out of her head watching this psychopath. She's like, bro, are you okay? And this is when he goes into his first TED Talk about not wanting to let her down. But we'll get back into that conversation later. Next scene, we're back with all the couples for another little meet and greet. Here's where the girls are revealing they're finally starting to have sex. Well, most of the girls. Amy, we'll get to you later. Over to Jimmy and AD. Now, you know last week I thought they were getting a little flirty. But right now, he's just over there trying to apologize for even talking about her body in the first place. He's like, yeah, I'm just sorry about that whole thing. But honestly, it kind of helped me and Chelsea get to that next level. Freaking AD is like, oh, great. I'm so happy that talking about this ass helped get y'all to the next level. Okay, over to Laura and Johnny. She's like, yeah, I see you over there with Amy. You guys have great chemistry. I'm just sure they're knocking boots. Now, I may have my mini beef with Laura, but anyone that's on the hunt for tea will be granted temporary immunity. Johnny's like, nah, we're taking it slow. Plus, she's not on birth control, and I'm trying to raw that thing. I'm just kidding. Johnny's not real enough to say it that cool. He's like, I'm just not ready to have any little Johnnies running around. Like, if only there was a way to smash without getting pregnant. There's gotta be something. This dude, Johnny, seems to think that every woman on earth is on birth control. He really might not have ever heard of a condom. You see, Jay? You're not alone. Over to AD and Jeremy now. He's apologizing for being Dipgate. This girl, AD, really out here like everybody's confessional. But AD does get something out of this one because Jeremy tells her that, no, you're not the only one that Clay gets quiet on. He just be in the zone sometimes, which makes her feel better because she be thinking that he's just getting quiet with her. But Jeremy's like, no. Even in the men's quarters, before we go on dates in the pods, he would just lock in and just get focused. Honestly, I might be the only one that knows this, but I think when Clay gets in the zone, this is what's actually happening. Okay, now I have to address the fact that Ken Shapiro told AD and Clay to turn him on when he was watching them kiss. That's it. That's the tweet. Next, we got Jeremy and Amy. Most of this conversation is her asking Jeremy, like, what was the difference between Sarah Ann and Laura? Now, me, I thought it was like the political stuff. Sarah Ann says she's super conservative, blah, 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 blah. Jeremy says, no. I just felt that me and Sarah Ann never got serious in the pods. It was always just jokey. I don't know what's more serious than talking about abortion, but Jeremy, it's your world. Then he tells Amy that he does want to meet Sarah Ann. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be keeping our freaking eyes on that one. Back over to Amy and Johnny. This is where Johnny's asking her like, hey, what's your biggest pet peeve with me? This dude is just looking for the smoke. He's uncomfortable being in a smoke-free relationship. This is also where we find out more about Amy's family. They're super traditional, and her dad didn't even want her to go on this show. He doesn't believe in getting engaged this quick, which also, you could go on Love is Blind and get divorced, and you could be freaking high school sweethearts and get divorced. I digress. She tells Johnny, I just don't know if I can move forward with this if I don't get my dad's blessing. Now, that could be a cop-out where she might not be feeling Johnny as much as we think she's feeling Johnny, and it's just like an easy way to like pull out a relationship because she's not really used to dating white guys. But if it's not, we're not doing this. Like, how much authority are we giving our family to say who we marry and don't marry? Just seems a little extreme, but traditional goes as traditional goes. Now everybody's packing up to leave the DR and fly back to Charlotte. This got to be one of my favorite parts of Love is Blind, period. Just seeing them living together. The first couple we hang with back in Charlotte is Laura and Jeremy. They're talking about their favorite topic, cleanliness. Laura just wants to make sure that Jeremy is not messy. She asks him, hey, babe, what's something I could do to really get on your nerves? This dude, Jeremy's like, yeah, you could leave dishes in the sink and just not clean up after yourself. She's like, yeah, well, I don't want to see food left out, and I don't want to see your hair in the sink when you shave. Like, girl, you know he's clean. Just stop this. Then over to Kendall Jenner and Brittany. She's like, babe, it's our first night back. What should we do for food? Should we like cook or like go out and get food? This dude, Kenneth's like, girl, take your ass in that kitchen. Don't come out until the food ready. Okay, I'm just kidding. He ain't say it like that. But he did tell her that he expects her to cook for him. But it's cool. I mean, this y'all boy. Like, y'all was looking at me crazy for not trusting this guy last week. But if y'all like him, cool. It's cool. All he cares about is that he got his phone back. And he wants us to believe it's so he can check on his school. Word. This freaking screenager hasn't looked up since they got back home. Poor Brittany. Hey, babe. I'm going to take the left side of the bathroom. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. Maybe you can shower in the other bathroom. This one's kind of small. And you probably need more space.
Yes, babe.
Also, how's the bed? Is it comfy?
Yeah.
You know my family owns slaves, right?
That's crazy.
Bro, if you don't get off your phone, people really do this for like 40 years? Anyway, over to Clay and AD. Also, does she have beef with her mom and sister? He seemed kind of surprised that she hit him up when they got back home. But I'm on the case. This whole scene is just part 2 of his TED Talk about being faithful. He paints this picture of his dad of being this super player, which in Clay's own words, might even hit on AD. Yes, like his fiance AD. Which now that I think of it, you know it'd be cool. You know when girls be going on their like bachelorette parties and instead of like Beyonce, it say fiance. Like what if hers said like fiance AD? Get it? Like fiance AD? Just an idea. Okay, get serious. This dude Clay is basically telling AD, like, look, my dad was never faithful to my mom. He even took me on some of his infidelity trips, which to this day, my mom doesn't know about. Unless, wait a minute, are these cameras that, these are on? Well, I guess she knows now. I told y'all Clay never stops talking. He's like, I just never seen black men being faithful in relationships. So I have to ask myself, can I even be with one woman? Even the celebs that I look up to, like Will Smith and P fucking Diddy. Like imagine those being the examples that you choose. Look, the real issue here is not that he really thinks black men can't be faithful. He's smarter than that. It's just that he knows he can't right now, which, fine, do your thing, bro. Just know that Love is Blind is not the show for you. And Netflix should have moved his application from the Love is Blind pile to the Too Hot to Handle pile. Boom, episode 8. This one's called Clinging to Love. Now we get to another one of my favorite parts of Love is Blind, seeing everybody's apartments and houses. The first place we see is Chelsea. Overall, pretty clean. She got a loud-ass, hyper-ass roommate named Tiffany, which I'd rather your energy be crazy high like that than have no energy at all, but Jimmy already hates her. Then we go to his apartment. His shit is also clean. He's got a studio, so he thinks it's a little too small for both of them to live in, which, yeah. Next up is Clay's house. And first of all, Good job on you, young black man homeowner. His house is also neat, but he might have the worst decor of the group. They got a shot of his vision board, which, yeah, he do got love on there, but he also got TikTok on there. Oh, yeah? A little social media ambition? Imagine someone wanting a little fame, not ready to settle down, but still applying for Love is Blind? Yeah? Yeah, Clay? Also, who the hell are those faces on that Mount Rushmore pillow you got in your bed? What even is this? Imagine you're smashing and you just got to look them people right in the eye like... Anyway, AD seems pleased with the place. She's like, yeah, I could definitely see myself moving in here. Yeah, I bet you could. Over to Jeremy's house. He's got a nice little gym in the garage. He shows Laura a little picture on the wall. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm an entrepreneur and, you know, the local newspaper did a little piece on me. And you see me and my dad there in that photo. Yeah, I had no idea that that would be the last picture I ever took of my dad. Laura's like, can I see inside? Jeremy's like, yeah, sure. This man's house is just as clean as he said it was. She was going on and on about how her man's house had to be clean. But now guess what? No. Just guess what? Now it's too clean. You wanted it clean. You wanted your man to have a clean house. But it can't be too clean. I mean, she said it's giving serial killer vibes, which was a joke, but also not funny. Then she asked to see his Bane mask, that little CPAP thing that he has to sleep with to stay alive. And honestly, they gotta work on the tech for that. Like, there's gotta be a way to make it cuter, because I might just rather not breathe. Over to the Ken house, and this man has nothing in his fridge but juice and turkey. He also uses Mrs. Butterworth's syrup. I knew I hated this guy. No, but then look at this man's spice cabinet. Imagine that, a black man with no spice. I guess he feel like he bringing enough spice to... What are you even talking about? Okay, this is where Brittany again calls him out for his low energy. He's trying to say like, hey, I can't always be on. Bro, you ain't been on since y'all met in real life. Like, bro, y'all just met. There's no way she thinks this is gonna get better as the decades go by. Keep in mind, this is the same dude that told her before they go to bed every night, he wants them to debrief everything that happened, all the ups, all the downs, say a prayer, hug each other, kiss each other. In real life, that would be Brittany with her list every night of all the things she wants to cover because her man asked for it. And he'd be out there scrolling Instagram until the phone fell on his face. Okay, next scene, we're meeting Chelsea's friends, Catherine, Jenna, and Morgan. And in case you ain't see the trailer for the new Jurassic Park when you was watching the Super Bowl, here go a T-Rex in her natural habitat. Anyway, before Jimmy gets off work to meet these girls, they're outside talking. They want to know about the pots. Chelsea's like, yeah, Jimmy was really popular. Everyone was interested in him. Girl, first of all, it was one other person. Second of all, I knew my theory was right. You just wanted him because the hot girl wanted him. Why would you even mention how many people were interested in your man if you didn't feel like you conquered something? She also tells her friends about Trevor, which, what a transition. Your friends are at your house to meet your new fiance and you want to talk about the other guy. Or do you just want your friends to think that you had a choice between two guys fighting over you? Then she tells her friends how Jimmy hasn't kissed her all day and he just been on his phone. Now, is there a chance that Jimmy was texting Kenneth all day? Sure. Is there also a chance he was at work? But we peeling back the onion layer by layer and we finally get to the root of the problem because Chelsea tells her homegirls that today Jimmy saw the picture of the girl he didn't choose and she's stunning. Jimmy finishes work for the day, so he comes down to meet her friends. And I'll be remiss if I didn't talk about this awkward ass hug with the first one.
What's up?
Hey,
What's up, friends?
this is Jenna. Nice to meet
Jimmy,
you.
nice to meet you.
Jimmy's talking to her friends like, yeah, I chose Chelsea because she always picked me up. And I also didn't know that Jessica was a smoke show. Then, of course, Chelsea can't even get out of her own damn way. They bring up Megan Foxgate. Even Jimmy's like, babe, you don't have to do this. She can't even help herself. She's like, watch this. Girls, what celebrity do I always get mixed up with? They're like Carrie Underwood, Adele, Natalie Nunn, the weather girl from Channel 10 Charlotte, Megan Fox. Then they ask him straight up, is Chelsea not your type? He's like, no, Chelsea is my type. I think Chelsea's perfect. Okay. Another moment caught in 4K, and let's just see how it turns out. Whatever, we're out of there. Over to Amy and Johnny at her place, and her shit is clean too. I'm actually kind of tight that nobody got a dirty crib. I mean, you don't want to see grown-ups living in filth, but it makes for good content. This is where they have their money talk, where Johnny explains that he wants to retire early by being frugal and putting money away. Meh, sounds boring. Honestly, just make more money. And that could sound careless, but there's no limit to how much money you can make. There's for sure a limit on things you can cut back on. Your money is to be used on things that bring you joy. But of course, this is not financial advice. Back to the talk around kids. This dude, Johnny, talks about unexpected pregnancies like it's unexpected visits from Freddy Krueger. And he says it again, like how every woman that he's dated has been on birth control. Like, please, can someone from Trojan reach out to this dude? They're talking about a whole vasectomy before a fucking condom. What in the tarnation? Like, bro, if you think you have enough money that you could retire at 50, ain't no way you can support a child financially. Anyway, over to Ken, things I hate about you and Brittany. This is the scene where she confronts him for waking her up at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. And just so Brittany knows, like, when you say a.m., it takes away you having to say in the morning. That is financial advice. Anyway, she's like, yeah, where were you? He's like, well, if you must know, I was getting my hair retwisted. Then I went to go see my mentor. Sometimes when I'm feeling stressed out, I go to him to blow off some steam. Now I'm just kidding, he didn't say that last part. I don't think. She explains to him that what's missing in their relationship is the crave and the desire, even though their goals are all aligned. He's like, no crave and desire. What about last night when I woke you up? I was in that mood. Did it occur to him that maybe she wasn't in that mood because it was 1:30 and she had to wake up at 5? Then she tells us that they haven't even made out yet. This dude would probably rather kiss a dolphin. Okay, this next part is really important. And I don't think this is one of those moments where I'm like, you probably missed it. This is why you come to Taste Tech. I'm pretty sure you heard it, but I just need to double, triple, quadruple down on it. And in case you weren't sure, this is definitely our oh my golly Wally moment of the episode. Side note, someone in the comments last week said that I say oh my golly Wally too much. So I just want to take this moment right now to apologize to that person and just let you know that I'm working on me. Like I hate to, diminish your experience on YouTube, but what I can do is only improve. I'm just here to just get better for y'all. So like, I just want to apologize. Like, it's just from me to you. Okay, quick refresher just in case you've been blanking out for the last 2 minutes. Right now, Brittany is sitting Kenneth down to call him out, number one, for coming home at 1:30 and waking her up, but also to be like, look, our goals are very much aligned, but I don't feel that craving desire from you. This dude, Kenneth, out loud says, okay, so what I'm hearing is, Kenneth, I think you're a good man, but I don't feel XYZ for you. No, Kenneth, I think she doesn't feel XYZ from you. This dude created a whole new narrative right in front of her face, and I don't even think she knows it's happening. This woman, Brittany, his fiance, is pouring her heart out, crying in his face. And you can tell Kenneth is really torn up about it. Here you can see him sipping on some of that root beer. Then you can see him checking in on his Pokemon Go. He looks up for just long enough to say, this isn't gonna work. He gets on the phone with his man and he's like, yeah, I'm about to pack up and come right over. And didn't that conversation sound like it was already premeditated? Like he already knew what was about to go down? You guys be the judge of that. We just witnessed a masterclass in gaslighting. And I hate it had to be Brittany. Over to another dysfunctional couple, Chelsea and Jimmy. This is where she wants to debrief the day and find out what he thought about her friends. Then she tells him like, yeah, I was kind of worried about you today. I felt like you were kind of in a little mood. She reminds him that he didn't kiss her today. Then we find out that it was Jeremy that showed Jimmy Jessica's Instagram. Allegedly, he was like, bro, check it out. She looks like a Kardashian. The amount of celebrity look-alike chasing has now reached a dangerous level, and all parties involved should seek professional help. Chelsea then goes on to tell Jimmy that he doesn't say I love you with passion. Now, Jimmy's response will not only go down as one of the funniest responses in Love is Blind history. No. This will go down as one of the funniest responses in the history of linguistics. Jimmy tells her, girl, I told you. No, stop. Jimmy tells her, girl, I told you I bit my lip eating all those taquitos. So it hurts to say I love you. So it hurts sometimes to say I love you. Don't you get it? Then Jimmy pulls the ultimate Uno reverse, because then he's like, and honestly, now that we're talking about it, you have been a little clingy.
What did he say?
He tells her she's giving him a little too much love and affection. Now, I'm not sure what kind of TV you guys have, or if you watch Love is Blind on your laptop or your phone. But if you look close enough, you could actually see the steam coming out of Chelsea's head. She's like, I have given. And he's like, Chelsea, wait. And she's like, no, I don't want to hear from you. I have given. No, but Chelsea, I'm not done talking. Then she's like, oh, now the first thing you tell me is that I'm clingy? Well, I mean, technically, Chelsea, it wasn't the first thing that he said. Now I'm watching Love is Blind in 4D, because then Chelsea came and jumped on my TV screen, slapped me in the face and said, shut up, Tate, nobody asked you. Okay, sheesh. Chelsea goes back inside the TV and she tells Jimmy, I cooked for you. I watched your stupid ass TV show. I even went up there and had sex with you. Now I'm clingy. You remember when R.L. Stine, the creator of Goosebumps, made that series where you can choose your own ending? If this was a choose your own ending episode of Love is Blind, this is where I would tell Jimmy, hey, here at the Tate's Take Confederation, we see that Chelsea doesn't always have it all there. With that information, as a group, we like to suggest that you, Jimmy, just leave from the situation. Just distance yourself at this moment, like right now. You're in it. But right now, I think if you just left, things will be better. Love is Blind is not a choose your own adventure, and Jimmy does no such thing. In fact, he brings us another oh my golly wally moment of the episode. He tells her, well, if you want to bring up sex, it was actually you that wanted it. If I'm being honest, I could actually use the breather from all that stuff too.
Yeah, double homicide.
He decides to leave the apartment to get some space. But what we were suggesting was to do that before. That was our idea. Before you said that. Last scene of the episode here where we see Jessica linking up with Laura. Jessica tells us that when she got back to Charlotte, she just took 2 days for herself before she even told her kid that she was home. Now listen, I'm not your kid's parent, and you parent your kid how you want to parent your kid, but weren't you the same one crying every day talking about how much you miss your kid? Then you got home and just let it sit for 2 days? What do I know? Anyway, then we get her side of the Jimmy Instagram story. And if you don't use Instagram, it all sounds like nonsense. Also, if you're just a human, this all sounds like nonsense, but whatever. Allegedly, Jessica says that Jimmy requested Jessica. Jessica just let the request sit there. I guess it was sitting for too long because Jimmy retracted the request. I don't know. I guess I'm naive, but I could have sworn that after Jimmy played Jessica and also seeing his photos, that she'd be over him. But I was wrong. She asks Laura, are Jimmy and Chelsea in love? Laura's like, I think so. Jessica's like, I hope so, for her sake. Then we shift to Laura. She shows Jessica the DM that Sarah Ann sent Jeremy. She took a picture of it. The gist of that message is that Sarah Ann is like, I hope you and Laura are happy. However, if your mind starts to shift, hit me up. But Jessica doesn't give a fuck about that shit. She's like, all right, back to Jimmy. Then she says one of the craziest things I've ever heard. She's like, yeah, Chelsea's stunning, but I've done some digging, and all of his exes look like me. Girl, she asks Laura, do you think he'll want to see me? Laura's like, I think he would. Is Laura being a bad friend here? And I don't know how close Laura is to freaking Chelsea, but just overall, Laura seems to be a little bit of a shit stirrer here. So you guys let me know your opinion. I don't know if she's closer to Jessica, and even if she is closer to Jessica, does that still make her a bad friend or a good friend or neither? What do you where's the level? Because we all want the team. We all like to gossip. So would y'all not do what Laura's doing? Boom, episode 9. This one's called Secret Rendezvous. And for this trip, you better freaking buckle up. We start with Amy and Johnny being cute. Nobody cares. Over to Chelsea and Jimmy. They have made up again. She tells him that leaving was not cool. She's like, yeah, you can say the things that you want to say, but you got to work on your delivery, bruh. Jimmy tells her, I plan to be with you forever, or until I meet Jessica, whichever one comes first. I'm just kidding, he didn't say that last part. Over to Jeremy and Laura with the flowers. The thing almost falls over, and he's like, put some water in it. He's like, one of us got to be the smart one. Then she says, which one of us has a college degree? I will never understand people whose love language is trolling each other. It's just not for me. Also, this guy in that damn hat. How you in the house with a hat 24/7? Anyway, today he's meeting her family and she's thinking of all the ways it can go wrong. That's very positive of you, Laura. So then her parents, her brother, and her sister-in-law show up, and I ain't gonna lie, the energy was all on zero, except maybe for the sister-in-law. They've been in the house for about 35 seconds, and Laura tells all of them, yeah, we're kind of in a love triangle. Even Jeremy's like, we are? Then she brings up the Instagram DM from Sarah Ann. Laura's like, why'd you like it? No, it's fine. I'm over it. Clearly. Now, the family's energy was low, but after a little while, the mom starts to come around. She actually was being cool. And she calls it out too. She's like, you guys speak very harshly to each other. Laura and her sister-in-law go outside to talk one-on-one. This is where Laura wants to complain about Jeremy wearing those Hawaiian shirts all the time. And thank God for the sister-in-law, because she's the voice of reason. She's like, oh, well, I think it's nice when, my husband seems to have an interest in things. I think it's cute that he likes these Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, you should just kind of support him. Yeah, Laura, it's just freaking clothes. Let the man wear what he wants. Okay, next family meetup with AD and Clay. And AD's about to meet Clay's sister, Taylor, and his mom, Margarita. Margarita got to be the youngest mom name in the history of mom names. This might have been the driest small talk to start a conversation I've seen in a long time. AD's trying to be nice, to his mom, how was your flight? She was like, it was fine, it was good. Then I worked a little bit. His sister jumps in extra dry like, I worked today too. Looks at AD, how did you spend your day? Matthew, is that you? I guess she loosened up after a while. The conversation shifts to how AD is handling Clay's work schedule. AD's like, yeah, I know he has his 9 to 5, then his 9 to 9. Poor thing, bless her heart. Clay's like, honestly, she doesn't get it. She's not working right now. I will never understand how people go on this show and start fighting in front of their families. Even his mom looking at him like, I know this nigga lying. His mom goes into mom mode and she's like, look, if someone's important to you, you make the time. She's like, even though my marriage failed, 23 years is a nice run. Well, is it the way Clay be describing it? Okay, back over to Jimmy and Chelsea. We're meeting his friends who are girls that he's known for 2 years. No, it's cool. But in case y'all rewind it, just know that Maddie gave this man 3 hugs. Chelsea's already looking at them like, oh my God, they're prettier than me. But they get right into it. They're like, Chelsea, how do you feel about Jimmy having close friends that are girls? And she's like, well, I can't even really be saying anything because one of my best friends is my ex. She's like, look, I've dated guys that have close girlfriends before. Did they all cheat on me? Yes. But it's fine. Over to Amy and Johnny with his family. There's nothing to write home about here. I mean, yes, this dog is excellent and I want to play with it. But look, these people seem to like Amy. Great. We got to get out of here because it's time for the oh my golly wally moment of the episode. We end the episode with Jeremy and Laura. And again, does he sleep in that hat? Can someone tell the Winter Soldier over here that he's in the house? Okay, that's not important. We jump right into it. Laura's like, bro, you left at 10:45 last night and you got home at 5 a.m. We're all at home like, wait, what? Ain't nothing in Charlotte open at 5 a.m. Get him, sis. Laura's like, answer the question. He's like, I went to karaoke. Then, one of the guys from the pod said Sarah Ann was at Lost and Found. So, we went there. Jeremy tells Laura at first she didn't want to talk to me and she just walked away. Naturally, I followed her and insisted that we talk. We hung back and spoke until 5 a.m. This creep Jeremy didn't even text Laura when he was out. Laura's like, are you denying leaving the bar? He says, I don't want to talk about that right now. She's like, listen, clown, don't share your location with me if you don't expect me to check it. Jeremy. This moron Jeremy is going full Jussie Smollett. He's just saying stuff. I am not suicidal. He's like, well, I parked here, and there's an alley here. I think there's a 7-Eleven around the corner. Lost and Found is here. Bro, you're the only one lost right now. Laura's tired of playing games. She's like, bro, you wasn't even in South End last night. You was north of Uptown. Isn't that where Sarah Ann lives?
And
Nah, I'm just asking. Isn't that where she lives? She's like, when I woke up today, I just knew you were with her. I just knew it. She says, I'm done. Boom! And that's episode 7, 8, and 9. And the previews for next week look just as crazy. Holy freaking moly. It is heating up in here. My God. Oh, let me do my little ending thing. As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. in the comments. Man, listen. Next Wednesday can't come soon enough. And I look forward to spending it with you guys. Next week, we got episodes 10 and 11. And I believe the finale is the week after episode 12. Yeah. I told you guys to buckle up. At some point, I know I told y'all to buckle up. That's not what I know. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. I try to tell y'all about Kenneth. Nobody want to hear me. Sometimes I be wrong, but sometimes I be right. And when I be right, I really be right. And I guess when I be wrong, I be wrong. But I usually be right. So what I'm hearing is our goals are aligned. You're a good man. But I don't crave you. The whole episode, she telling you that you don't crave her. But no, you flipped it. You flipped it. Girl, just bring one of those dolphins back out and see how affectionate he gets with that blow. Did I really write that? I really wrote that.